So basically we have learned in theory that a function can return only one value. But how many return statements does a function can have? So this is one particular example where I'm going to use multiple return statements inside a function, but still a function is going to return only one value. So in this particular video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out the maximum among 3 integer values using functions, and inside the function will try to return whichever value is bigger one. Depending upon that particular bigger value, the function will return a flag value, and that flag value will be used in the calling function in order to display which is going to be the largest number. So just go through this code snippet what I'm trying to do. So program to identify or program to find the big number among 3. So I'm going to make use of function in order to find that. So my input is going to be 3 numeric values or 3 integer values, and my output is going to be again an integer value which is bigger among the 3 input values. So to begin with, I'm starting off with the inclusion of the preprocessor directives, stdio.h and conio.h, and I'm just going to declare a function int max, and this particular function is going to accept 3 input arguments, and all these 3 input arguments are of integer data type. So this is basically a function declaration. What I'm doing here is the name of the function is max. This particular function will return a integer value. So the data type of the function is integer, and this particular function is going to accept 3 input arguments, and all these 3 input arguments are of integer data type. So now I start writing my definition for the main function. So here, so I'm declaring 3 integer values a, b and c, all are of integer data type, and I also have a flag indicator that has been given a value of 0. This is for the indication purpose to identify the bigger number. This again I will explain the value of flag later when we try to develop the code. So I'm calling the function clear screen, and now I'm prompting the user to enter the 3 integer values. So enter 3 numbers using the printf statement, and using the scanf statement I'm trying to get the values of a, b, c and d. So I'm using the character format that is %d to get all the 3 integer values. So ampersand a, ampersand b, ampersand c. So all these 3 values are received from the user using the scanf statement. Now I'm going to make the function call. So equivalent to a function call. So I'm just calling the function max, and I'm passing 3 input arguments a, b and c. So the actual function call happens once we get the input values of a, b and c, and this function called result is being stored in the variable that is flag. So flag is an integer variable, so flag will contain the integer value returned by the function max. So, and I just write the condition if flag value is double equals 1. So I'm using a comparison operator. If the flag value double equals 1, then I'm just entering a printf. So I mean to say that if the flag value returned from the function is double equals 1, that is if it is equivalent to 1, then I'm just giving a customized message through the printf function that a value is bigger, so %d is bigger, and I'm using the variable a. Or else if the flag value returned by the function, if it is equivalent to 2, then I just mean to tell that the second value, that is the b value, is greater. and in the rest of the cases I just mean to say that the third value is bigger. So this is the definition for my main function. So my main function has been done with a return value that is of an integer type. So here's the definition of my main function. So I've declared three variables to get the input values from the user during the runtime, and I have set a indicator that is in the name of a flag variable. Initially it has been set as 0. Okay, so the user will be prompted to enter three numbers, and all those three numbers will be entered during the runtime, and these three values will be passed to the function max with the help of the function call in this particular statement. So now I'm going to write the core logic of my function, that is max. So the function declaration says that the return type of the function is integer and the name of the function is max, and it should accept three input arguments. So here I have not mentioned the variable names in the declaration, but in the definition it is mandatory to give the variable names. So I'm giving the name of the function, that is max, the return type is integer, and again I can make use of even the same variables int a, b and c, even though the variables are same in both the main function as well as the function max. Both are confined, all these three variables are confined to their respective function, so it is not an issue. So now I'm going to just check if a value is greater than b and a value is greater than c, then I am going to return the flag value as 1. Else if the b value is going to be greater, that is the second value is going to be greater than a and c, so I'm making use of the logical operator AND. So if it is greater than a and c, I'm just returning the flag value that is equal to 2. I'm just returning a value that is 2. Else case I'm returning the value, any numeric value. It can be either 0 or anything apart from 1 and 2, because we have a condition check, like if it is the flag value is 1 and 2, then the corresponding numbers are greater. So it can be any value. Okay, so here I'm simply returning the value as 0, and with this the definition of my function max is done. So three integer values are getting passed, and all these three values are getting compared among each other to identify which one is a bigger one. So I think the conditional operations and the logical operations are familiar. So let us see how the program is getting executed. So first I'm going to compile this code. Okay, so I missed out the if part. So let us see how the program is getting executed. So initially it starts off with the main function, and of course all the three variables are declared, a, b and c, and the flag value has been set to 0. So this particular statement is executed, and the clear screen is also getting executed. That will flush out the previous messages in the output screen, and in the runtime screen we can see the customized message, that is to enter the three numbers that will be displayed to the user. So now the runtime environment will prompt me to enter the three numbers. So I'm just entering the numbers 50, 60, 44. So a value takes the value of 50, b value takes the value of 60, and c value takes the value of 44. So all these three values, so here I'm just giving a small assignment. So 50, 60 and 44 are passed in the runtime. So 50 is getting passed to the variable a, and 60 is getting passed to the variable b, and c value takes the value of 44, and all these three input arguments are passed to the function max. So this, since it's being an assignment statement, the first and foremost thing is that the function call will happen first. Okay, so here after the statement is executed, so again I'm pressing F8. Okay, so what happens is the function call happens, the values 50 and 60 and 44 are getting passed in the function definition. So in the function definition we will have the values, that is 50, 60 and 44 that is getting passed. So the condition will check whether 50 is greater than 60, the condition fails, so it will go to the else part, and it will check 60 is greater than 50, the condition is true, and 60 is greater than 44, the condition is true. So this particular function will return the value that is 2, and the flag value will have the data that is 2. So the flag value will be 2 here. Now the condition check is going to happen. So 2 is compared with 1, the condition fails. So it goes to the else part. So it is going to skip the printf statement because 2 is not equal to 1. So it is going to check the else condition. So in the else condition we have 2 is equal to the condition is true. The condition is true. So if you see the output screen now, so it shows the second number is bigger, that is 60 is bigger, and now your main function is going to expect a character from the user during the runtime, and it is going to return a positive, it is going to return an integer value. So that sums up this particular code. Okay, so here the ultimate thing is that we were supposed to tell that a function can have many return statements, but it can return only one particular value.